Hello, everybody. You are watching a special edition of my Rants and Raves podcast, and you might recognize a familiar face, Holger Graeff, who's the general manager of Vivitek EMEA. Holger, good morning. How are you doing?
Hi, Gary. Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I know you're busy. You're getting ready to fly out to Amsterdam. We're getting ready to fly out to Amsterdam. I know that your stand is already being assembled as we speak right now. That's how close we are to the beginning of the show. But what I want to talk about is this year's stand, you're going to see a difference in the way Vivitek is presented because now, over the last year, since last year's ISE, you've added a number of new products, and you're really kind of a solutions provider of everything. Like you have everything from small meeting room application displays all the way through large venue and everything in between. So you're serving the entire market now.
Right. It's actually quite exciting for us because we realized that with the technology we have also from Delta Display Solution side, we now can offer our partners so much more that we are not always dependent on the front projection for certain sizes. Now we basically can approach the personal space through our QME product range. We have, of course, our multimedia projector for any meeting room and our education-based projectors. With the large venue, we, of course, have been developing a lineup over the last 3-4 years already to the extent that we are occupying larger spaces. But now, since mid last year, we step by step also offer to our partner LED indoor displays or outdoor displays and DLP cubes. So basically, now I can say that we have projection and display devices for any meeting room or training room or large venue.
Yeah, and the QME product line, of course, people are familiar with. I think most people are, but in case you're not, it's basically the little handheld projector, which you can put in any environment, low light environment, specifically designed for traveling people who want a little small projector. And now we have bright, and they keep getting brighter every year. In fact, I got a sneak peek of the newest generation last year at ISE, and I was unbelievably impressed. And then you, of course, have large venue projectors. But I think one of the biggest things that a lot of people may not know is that you also have flat panel displays, which, I think there's been a movement towards small meeting room applications, especially huddle rooms and meeting spaces where 70, 80, even 60 and 50-inch displays are being replaced, or projectors are being replaced by flat panel displays. And you have those, but you also have a set of interactive displays that not only act as whiteboards, electronic whiteboards, but also act as collaboration sharing devices, because in those cases, you're actually including your NovoPRO.
I can see you read already our preview, so absolutely. I think we have to acknowledge that in some of the meeting spaces, a large front projection image is not necessarily required. For us, the picture starts at 100-inch. But in some of the meeting rooms, you will get along with smaller screen sizes. So for those applications, we are now launching at ISE 65-inch, 75-inch, 86 and 98-inch. All of them are 4K and they are interactive. But as you said, moreover, we included our wireless collaboration solution, NovoPRO, as a software inside those panels. And that's why we call them collaborative touch panels and not just interactive flat panels. And that's the value add that we can create and dedicate those displays then to corporate meeting spaces, I think in a very value-adding way for the client.
Yeah, and one thing that you launched the NovoPRO last year, which is basically your wireless sharing device, wireless collaboration device. But a lot of people may not know that you have a new feature called Lounger, I guess is probably the best way to describe. That's what you're calling the feature, but the best way to describe it is it's a USB dongle that plugs into anything and allows you to wirelessly project without having to load any software, without having to jump on a separate Wi-Fi network. You basically plug this into any device that has USB, and it screen scrapes constantly, and therefore you're able to display through any of your displays that have the NovoPRO built into them.
Yeah, well, we actually, when we launched our NovoPRO series and our Novo DS, the digital signage player last year, we have been extremely successful, especially in the education environment. But from business or corporate use, we got the feedback that the launcher that we had so far was a good solution, but not always as practical as the customer wished. So that's why we developed a new dongle or launcher we call Launcher Plus, which pairs with the main unit, and you just plug it into the USB port of your PC, and in less than 60 seconds, you can already project to the display device. And that is probably a very important game changer, because now our NovoPRO solution can be used in any meeting space in a corporation. You have sometimes meeting spaces where there are no visitors. And then the employee can use the software installed on the PC that normally the IT department pushes on, and use our NovoPRO in a very cost-effective way, very fast way to collaborate. But in meeting spaces where you have a lot of visitors, our new Launcher Plus may be the more favorable solution, especially when the visitor is not allowed to install any software. So we offer so many solutions that are then, of course, also scalable for any application needed or space needed.
So how many launchers can you put in to each system? Like, how many can be plugged in at a time, and how many can be identified in a particular meeting room?
Well, as many as you want, but normally in a meeting room, let's say you have always a mix of guests and employees. Of course, when you meet as an employee with a customer, you don't need to have the Launcher Plus. You can use the software installed on your PC. And if guests are coming, you just give each guest a dongle. We can have probably up to 64 devices, but that's probably unrealistic in a meeting space.
Yeah.
You probably would use in a meeting room 4 of them, and then you just share them as needed. But you are quite flexible, and that's why you are not dependent on the Launcher Plus to make your presentation, as long as you have the software on your PC, Mac, Chromebook, iOS, or Android device.
All right, so that's also, so as a standalone product, still called the NovoPRO, but the Launcher Plus is an add-on to it. But then also you have that built into your interactive display line. Do you have it built into any of the projectors?
Not yet, but that's of course also the direction we are thinking of. So the thing is really that NovoPRO is a scalable solution for us. And we, of course, adding also a new hardware called Novo Enterprise, which is the same as the main box as NovoPRO, but with more powerful features in terms of memory and, of course, also wireless transmission. That's what we are launching now as well. So the combination of having high performance connected or combined with the Launcher Plus, have a more cost-effective solution with the same feature set, have it built in the panels, gives you a great deal of flexibility.
And what about security? Are there different levels of security? And I assume an enterprise version has even a higher level of security than the standard product.
Well, absolutely. So all our products are Android-based, and as such, we support all the wireless security standards. And of course, we have encrypted connections. So from that point of view, that's all very safe.
Okay, and then also at your display this year, you'll have everything from the little handheld projectors to large venue projectors. What's the brightest projector and the highest resolution you're going to show this year?
So we will basically show up to 12,000 ANSI-lumen. We will go a little bit higher throughout the year, but that's probably more around Infocom. But we are showing actually on our booth also a 4K projector with 7,000 ANSI-lumen. So from that point of view, we are going in all directions. I mean, when you look at the trends, it's either higher brightness, higher resolution, and 4K is of course something that a lot of people are asking for. And the other trend is laser light source. And as Delta is one of the key manufacturers of laser phosphor technology, we have the great advantage that our mother company provides us so many different solutions, motorized, non-motorized, or even in future with fixed lenses. So I think we will have an even broader range of projection solutions. And, you know, we will need to discuss with the client what would be the appropriate solution for him when it comes to total cost of ownership, because at the same time, we are still launching dual lamp projectors in a very cost-effective level with 6,500 ANSI-lumen, where we believe we have a very, very good offer for our channel partner and the client.
Yeah, the market is changing, it's evolving, but certainly there's always been, the entire time I've been in the industry, the two things that people have always wanted is higher resolution, higher brightness. So that's going to be a popular, no matter who comes into your stand at ISE next week, they're all going to be asking for what is the highest resolution, highest brightness that you can give me, and then they're going to go down from there depending on their application. So the theme this year's show is going to be the fact that you sort of are covering everything. A lot of people won't know that you have flat panel displays, certainly won't know that you have interactive flat panel displays with collaboration built in with the NovoPRO. You're in Hall 5 at ISE in stand R55, which I think is basically the same place you were last year, or real close to where you were last year. So it'll be easy to find. I really appreciate it. I know you're busy, Holger, and I know you're getting ready to take off to the show, and I appreciate you taking the time to sort of give us an overview. And I'll see you at the show when I come by and take a look at the new products. Of course, I have this affinity with the little CUNY boxes, but I'll check everything out. And so make sure you put Hall 5 stand R55 on your list as you go around the show floor. And of course, if you want to see everything that we're covering at the show, all you do is head over to ravepubs.com/ISE2017. Thank you, Holger. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Take care.
Thank you, and have a good trip.
Thank you. Bye-bye.